Hey, Mark's Garage Channel. Today is something new. It's going to be Motorcycle Monday. This is an effort for me to get this out of the garage. I haven't touched this bike in probably a year, maybe 2 years. It just sits here in the middle of the garage. I give you a story on it, and I'm going to try to see what I can do with it today. And every Monday, I want to do something with this motorcycle just to get this project moving. So, this is a 1968 CL175. I bought it as a parts bike for the original CL175 project I started 3 or 4 years ago. Probably going to post some pictures of that, but they're only still pictures. I started an album when I started rebuilding that. But what I've done so far, when I bought this bike here, it was missing some parts, as was the other bike, but this one had more parts. So I put the motor from the other bike into this bike, and I was kicking it, and kicking it, and kicking it, and it wouldn't start, but I had spark. In the meantime, the original motor on this was frozen, or seized. I had that in the basement. I got that apart, rebuilt, put it back in here, because I figured the other one had no compression. And this one has compression, but I can't get any spark out of it, even though it's in the same body. It has the same coil, the same set of points. Doesn't have the same generator, so I might have to look at that soon. But that's where I am with this bike today. I'm sitting here. I hope it's not re-seized up or anything. But no, it still kicks, has compression. But I figured at least I get it cleaned off, start troubleshooting the ignition. Maybe I can figure out what's wrong with it. Down in the basement, there's the old motor, or the motor from the original blue bike, I'll call it. Upstairs is the orange bike. But I bought a new battery yesterday, or the other day, filled it with acid yesterday, put it on the trickle charger overnight, and see if it's good to go. I'll go put it in that other orange bike and start troubleshooting. So, the battery's got 13.5 volts on it, so it took a good charge. Thing with these, working on a project like this after not touching it, it's hard to remember where you left off. I don't even remember where the ground wire is. Let's see. Here's your positive power. Ah, look at that. That's the ground right there. Just that little wire sticking out of there. If I remember right, I troubleshot the electrical system. I put the key on from the other bike. This bike had no key, no ignition. It had a set of toggle switches, 2 toggle switches, which I didn't really understand what the guy was trying to do. But I'll just give you some history, why I'm at where I'm at. Let's see, positive. So I'm going to need to extend that wire. So I need to go get a jumper or a longer lead. But when I was 14 years old, I had a CL250 that somebody gave me. I think it was around a 1972 bike. But it had a frozen motor, and I didn't know much about motors at the time. I thought I did. And I ended up taking the head off and getting the pistons loose by hitting them with a hammer, claw hammer at that. And I nicked up the top of the jug and all that. And to make a long story short, I never was able to really get it back together or understand what I did wrong. But fast forward to where I'm much older, I came across the blue CL175 for sale. I said, you know what? I'm going to restore one of those and get it going. And I started doing that. And I realized that was missing so many parts I'd probably never get it running. And I came across this bike from a woman was selling it from her father's estate. He had passed away. And I got it for a very reasonable price. And it had a lot of parts, but it had a frozen motor. So that's where I am today. So I'm going to kick this now. Hold it, I got it on a tripod. I could have swore I saw a spark a minute ago. Yeah, there's a spark. Excellent. I don't know if that's a good spark, but it's a spark. That's more than I've seen in 2 years. Not that I've done anything, but when I tried this a couple of years ago, I never had spark. So I'm thrilled. I got spark. I'm going to try the other side, and maybe we'll try some starting fluid. What the heck I got to lose? So I was getting ready to try to maybe throw some fluid in the carburetors and see if I can get some to kick. And I was just testing the throttle, and I saw that this throttle body, I don't know what that piston is that's in there. It doesn't seem to want to go all the way down and close. So I'm wondering if I got this in the wrong position or something. This one, I put my finger in there, I could feel it go up and down when I pull the throttle cable. Twist the throttle, you know, like you do on motorcycles. But this thing just doesn't seem to want to work. And I believe there's a slot. This can only go one way. Well, there's 2 slots, so maybe it goes 2 ways. Let me take a peek down there. Too dark for me to see. I'll probably have to get the flashlight. Let me turn it 180 degrees and see what happens. Try it this way. I'm feeling for like a tab or something, so that go through that slot, and I'm not feeling anything. So, oh, there it goes. Now it's dropping down. It's staying flush with the top. So let me just see if I can push that down a little further by manipulation. No. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Okay. And now I can feel it in there. Now let me close this up. I think this only goes one way too. Yeah, with the cable facing forward most. You gotta get that spring to sit flush on the cable. I'm fighting around the choke linkage. That goes there. I believe that goes there. And as soon as this closes, yep, like that, you screw this retainer down on top of it. Now, I can feel that with my finger. I'm going to twist the throttle. Comes up. Goes down if I twist the throttle back. That's good news. Same with this one. I think the throttle return spring, which I think is in the handle, at least it opens and closes now. This is the choke. Opens and closes. That's open. That's closed. That's open. All right, let's try some starter fluid and see what happens. Well, it appears I'm out of starting fluid, so trip to Walmart is in my near future. So I really thought I've gotten farther today than I have in probably 2 years. You can see this bike is now covered with a layer of dust from just sitting, but I had it all cleaned up pretty good. And I'm thrilled that I got a spark. I've been trying for years to get a spark out of this thing. I'll just tell you some of the other things I've done. I've replaced this headlight bucket. I put those headlights on. They came with one of the donor bikes, but they were in a box. Good exhaust system. This bike's got a lot of good. I got all the parts for this bike, including there's a splash guard or a skid guard that goes underneath, and I have that. So if I can get this motor running, I know the gas tank leaks a little. I have the side emblems for the gas tank. The other side's got a dent in it. So, you know, there's some body work in the future. But, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it like it is, you know? Who knows? But, I rewired all the switches in here. You can see this piece right here. This is very common for these things to break. This is, the brake handle is supposed to go right there. This is like an aftermarket brake handle. And this piece, the brake handle's die cast into this metal. They break very easily. So both bikes, the donor bike and this bike, had the same broken piece. So I don't know if I'm gonna wrap this up for today. Maybe I'll wrap this up for today. This is Motorcycle Monday. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions, I'm really not a motorcycle expert by any means. You can use all the help I can get. Thanks for watching.